Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome to the final chapter of Let's Play the Tesla Effect. The good ending. Yeah, I've still got 4 other endings to play through to show off everything, but this will be the final chapter of the good ending. I'm fairly certain we will in fact get the good ending because you'll note our current path is still Somewhere I'll Find You. We've got a 5 light bulb score in our PI rating. So we have our egg, although it's not showing up in the inventory. We do have the Tesla egg back. And yeah, the rendering is a bit weird, but there's Mantis and what is left of Big Jim Slade.
Big Jim Slade. Big Jim, former tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, is outfitted with various whips, chains, and a sexual appetite that will knock your socks off. Big Jim has satisfied women throughout the world, and the capital of Nebraska is Lincoln.
Okay, I had to work that joke in one last time for the last video. So, let us fast travel back to our office.
Murphy!
And that brings us to day 11. This immortal coil, or Apocalypse Pow.
I lay in a semi-conscious state, hearing fragments of conversation between Dalton and some other guy. I'm transported to a location in New Mexico where underground nuclear testing experiments were carried out in the 1950s. I remember a map where all the Titan reactors around the world were linked together to one location, the launch pad of the immortal coil. Time to play up my last hand.
Yeah, narration not quite matching up with the voiceover there. Cut on his head healed up nicely, though. Oh, hell, we woke up in a Fallout game.
Do you have to sneak up on people all the time?
You see that rather large, old-fashioned looking piece of equipment? That was your home for a very long time.
Apartment overview, pure sarcasm, the big reveal.
Is this the part where you're going to tell me like I was dead for 7 years?
And you have the egg. Wonderful. I must confess, I'm surprised to see you. Dalton and Slade were convinced you'd never bring the egg here voluntarily.
Well, we made a deal. I have my reasons. You don't know me.
I want my memory back. This is the only way.
Still, unlike me, they knew you way back when they used words like idealist, naive.
Dartboard, punching bag.
I've always been an idealist myself. But I find it's the pragmatists like Dalton and Slade who get things done. Without Dalton, I wouldn't be here. And Dalton wouldn't have had the opportunities he did if Slade hadn't helped him rise through the ranks of Gideon Enterprises.
And Slade wouldn't be here if I hadn't returned the favor and got him out of prison.
Underestimate me, doesn't matter. Good behavior ruled out.
And yet it was the naive idealist who found the egg.
There's so much more to you than that, Tex. Surely by now you know that you were J.T. Donnelly, protector, hired gun and confidant of Nikola Tesla?
Lying to be younger, incredulous, is it possible?
Is that what Margaret thought too? Is that why she thought I could get the egg?
And she did. How do you explain that? And what about your dreams? The visions?
Well, I think it's the Tesla egg. Donnelly hid it in the wall of the apartment. I didn't even start having the dreams until I moved in.
The spirit radio allows us to communicate with the dead, not the egg. The egg merely amplifies it.
Yeah? Well, I had a radio. I mean, there are other explanations, but I got to admit, they all sound insane to me.
And yet you can't deny the visions. The egg may have had an effect on your subconscious, your spiritual DNA. But you weren't receiving messages, you were remembering. Everything has led to this. A reunion of consciousness. But not just for you, for us all. This is what Tesla intended. His death ray, the spirit radio, the Tesla egg, all brought together to create a celestial conduit, the immortal coil, that will redeem and purify this depraved planet and create a literal heaven on earth. True immortality, timelessness, no sickness, death, or pain. All needs met and achieved through the genius of Tesla! Tex, if you would be so kind as to step out there and place the egg. Where's Slade?
Yep, I'm totally just going to walk out here with the egg, which I took, and I am totally helping you with your evil plan. I am not going to totally screw this up for you at the last moment. And I have no idea what happened to Dalton's partner. He certainly didn't get killed because of a booby trap I set up. That did not happen. Totally on board with this. Good music here, though.
Tex, you have come here seeking answers through the spirit radio. Please do so. But you'll only have a few minutes. Then none of the answers will matter because the world will be reborn.
Well, awfully generous of them to let me do that.
Margaret! Margaret Leonard, can you hear me?
It's so cold. Dark and so empty. Is there someone there? I feel a presence.
It's me, Tex Murphy. I'm trying to contact you through the spirit radio. You've got to help me, Margaret.
I can hear you, but you sound so far away. Tex? Tex? I can't see anything, but I can hear you. I have no sensation. It's as though I'm floating in a void. Where am I?
Well, okay, in order to continue the communication, we do have to fix this. Now, the trick is we have to fix each line one at a time. Now, we have to get to yellow first. And then flip the second knob until it's blue. And then use the third knob to change it to the second or third window. And we have to do this 3 times. Turn the one light green down there. So we're going to try 2. Okay, there's the second one, and now the third. Try 2. And there's no time limit on this one, but we will need to do this a second time under pressure.
Tex, are you there?
Margaret, I need your help. Focus on the sound of my voice. I need to ask you a few questions. I want to start over with Chelsea. How do I do it? Where do I find the serum and keys?
I've given that decision to Chelsea. It's her choice to make, Tex.
Why did you erase my memory?
I had to protect my daughter. You knew what happened to her, and I couldn't trust you. Not the man you'd become.
What's my connection with Donnelly? Is that me?
You are who you want to be, Tex. When I used the transducer on you, it restored you to whom you were. Don't go back.
Tell me how to get my memory back.
I can't do that, Tex. You are the sum of your memories. I took things from you. Repressing your dark memories was my way of atoning for what I did.
How do I destroy the immortal coil?
Find the frequency. The one I found. The one Tesla found before me. It will destroy itself. There'll be no way they can stop it this time.
Okay, now we do have a time limit this time. And I'm going to go ahead and wait it out because there is another kind of funny alternate ending here if we run out of time.
I see you're back again. This is getting old, Murphy. Now, go back and try not to get yourself killed again.
Alright. Same as before, but now we have to make everything red. one more retro shout-out here. Just like the transitions from Under a Killing Moon, only instead of the Under a Killing Moon logo, we got the Tex Murphy logo. So yeah, day 12, the big finish, or all good things.
I take a long elevator ride to the surface and make a few calls to get some help. It's a pretty good time to reflect on all that's happened. It's obvious to me that Margaret injected me for a reason. She knew the man I'd become over the last 7 years had become too treacherous to trust anymore, and she was right. That night of the injection, I must have made a deal with the devil to betray her and Mason, and the 50 G's were my 30 pieces of silver. Margaret knew instinctively I was going to betray them, and that's why she broke away earlier. But I think she also knew that the man I was 7 years ago would do the right thing and try to stop the translator. That's why she only erased my memory for the last 7 years. I guess each of us had sins we needed to atone for. Now I've got to find out how all of this is going to play out.
I know Tex, he's not that kind of guy. He couldn't have killed these folks. Mantis, the Morlock, Tex. I've got witnesses.
All right. I'll take your word for it for now, but I'll keep my eye on it before I make any exceptions again. Keep yourself clean.
Yeah, almost forgot that we were still being suspected of 2 murders, didn't you?
But you said that... I said Chelsea needed someone. But you can give her so much more. Now, I've thought this all through. And the only way that I see this working out is with you getting into that speeder with her.
But
the way that you feel for her. That's what she deserves. I want you two to have what I couldn't.
But
Mason gave me a trans-inducer. To use in an emergency. It can take her back to the moment where your memory ends and give you both a fresh start.
But
listen, think of this as your happily ever after ending.
But do I have to take your speeder because my speeder's over here?
You're on your own from here. Go get your girl.
Thanks for helping us out,
Mike, I wouldn't have missed this for the world.
After I give you the trans-inducer, you're going to be pretty confused.
Mike thought he was dreaming for a couple of days.
That's why I thought having Louis here would help.
It's always better to have Louis here.
Hey now!
Plus, you got that video we took. If Mike and I can't convince you, you always got that.
Thank you, Louis.
You gonna need any help with that injection?
I think we got it.
I'll be right over here.
Chelsea, are you sure about this? I mean, I don't want to change your mind, but this is going to change everything.
Like I told you, Tex, if there was a way I could go back in time, I'd do it.
I feel kind of bad. You know,
About Thompson?
Yeah.
Don't. Because what he and I had won't change. It doesn't have to change. I never felt that way about him like I do about you. And he'll always be my very dear friend. And besides, he insists on giving me away.
Well, that's good, because if he didn't, I'd have to steal you away.
No. He's giving me away.
As in, walking down the aisle.
I hope you want to put a new ring on this finger.
Oh, I do, Miss Bando. I do. Are you ready?
I have never been more ready for anything in my whole life.
I love you, Chelsea.
Tex.
Maybe it's not a perfect world, but it's the best I've got. I might have been somebody else over the past 7 years, but I'm ready to leave that behind me. I've been given a second chance, and I intend to make the most of it. I sense this is just the beginning of something bigger, and what comes next may not be easy. But then again, what is?
Nice little shot of the Access logo there at the end, but so yeah, that is the good ending of the Tesla Effect. You save the world, and despite everything, you get Chelsea at the end. Although it is kind of screwy that Margaret does all this to try and make things up to you, and make things up to Chelsea when, as I understand it, she's the one responsible for taking Chelsea away and setting her up with Thompson, and basically changing her memories around, and basically being responsible for Tex becoming the total bastard that he was. But I digress. So yeah, there is the credits. And you'll note that I stayed silent for most of that the final movie, because all joking aside, they did a fantastic job on the direction for this. My only real complaint is that story-wise, in the effort to try and create the divergent paths, you have to play through all the different pathways of the game in order to get the full story, because in some of the other pathways, which we'll be exploring, you get to see a lot more of the backstory regarding Tex and the possibility that he had all these past lives in the other pathways. But we'll get to that later on. Just go ahead and enjoy this techno remix closing song here, which, if memory serves correctly, we should see it up in a bit, but this song is titled Save the World, Get the Girl. I personally would have liked to have had another Richie Valens song, but well, yep, there it is, Save the World, Get the Girl. Artist Midnight Discotheque, composers The Brothers Green. note here, additional photography by Doug Vandergrift Jr. Doug Vandergrift being the longtime artist and designer on this. Aaron Connors had a cameo as the episode 6 announcer. And the photo of Lucy Love, aka Nicole Tyndall, that one picture we had earlier, was from samtang.com. Accommodations at the Country Inn and Suites in Bountiful, Utah. The Tex Murphy Mutant League, unofficial Tex Murphy community, William Chan, Kevin Murphy, of course, Salt Lake City Comic-Con, Adventure Gamers, Origin PC, all the wives, husbands, partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, and family of the Tex 6 staff. We can come home now. Shot entirely in Centerville, Utah. All the character experience work are fictitious. Any resemblance to any real persons, living or dead, is coincidental. No animals are harmed in making this game. All creatures featured in this game were digitally created and depicted. So, yeah, no giant mutant bees were harmed in this either.
Oh no!
What's wrong?
My speeder!
What?
It's been stolen!
Let's walk.
Okay.
Nice little wink to the camera there. And extra special thanks. And yeah, now we get the classic Tex Murphy Under a Killing Moon theme, as we get to see a list of presumably all the people who helped kick in on the Kickstarter here. And you know, looking at this list, it's impressive. I mean, there are a lot of classic games and old school adventure game designers who have been turning to Kickstarter to try and get the fans to chip in and finance games that big publishers won't take a chance on anymore because, oh, well, adventure gaming is a niche market, nobody cares about this old stuff anymore. And pointing out that, in fact, there are still people who do care about these games and these characters and these old franchises and trying to bring them back. And, again, as I said, I don't know if they're going to finally get around to doing another Tex Murphy game, something bigger or better like Tex said at the end of this one, or if they're just going to continue it in the novels, which is what I heard Aaron Connors was planning. But you know what? If this is the last Tex Murphy game, this will be a good one to go out on. I mean, I groused about how annoying some of the areas were and how it seemed like they just threw in more puzzles to cover up the parts they didn't have the budget to film. But, you know, for all its flaws, this is a solid game. I mean, got a good story, good acting, and I managed to get through this whole thing without making a single "what you talking about Willis" joke regarding the fact that Todd Bridges, who was Willis on Different Strokes, was playing Mantis the Mutant. But we're not quite done just yet, even with these credits and me doing my little jazzy chair dance, which you can't see. I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance with you. Wrong sax solo. I really regret that I didn't hear about this when it was going on. I didn't hear about this game until after it had already been released. Because I love the Tex Murphy games. I loved them as a teenager. I still love them, for better or worse. And this was quite the game. And I hope you've enjoyed watching me play as much as I've enjoyed playing it. But as I said, we're not quite done yet. And even with this, we're not done yet, but we do have the Spade and Marlowe scale Private Eye intelligence, and we maxed it out hard-boiled Private Eye. Because I am a badass in a fedora and a trench coat. Oh yeah. But even this is not the end, because now that we have beaten the game in good mode, and gotten all of the Mike and I camera comics, it has unlocked a special load game. Day 13 Storage. And this takes us inside the special storage room. And here we have the Diogenes Club for the Extraordinary Detective. So yes, we have even more pictures that we get to see here.
Uncouth, underemployed, and unstable. My friend, you've got it all. Don't forget, call Mom. Here you go, you big baby. You think she'd ever go for a quippy PDA who lives in a pocket? This reminds me of that time I turned a tortoise over on its back and wouldn't help it. Why did I do that?
Nice Blade Runner gag.
Your move, creep.
Yeah, apparently this was the special fancy reward. You get your picture hung up in the super secret area, and you get Kevin Murphy to read the snarky response to your picture.
I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies. You're a disgrace. Hubba hubba. Just another reason for your mother to be disappointed. I feel like we both accomplished something today. Mostly me, though. I guess we know who the real detective is. Not you. You call yourself a gamer. Your father always said you'd end up using the hint button. Ooh, well, this is awkward. It is with great disappointment that I say, well done. Nice pimp-mobile, Daffodil. Tex, is this hell? Because it seems like hell. It's okay, honey. We can't all be good at things. Hubba hubba. I'd like to add her biological and technological distinctiveness to my own, if you know what I mean. It's okay, honey. We can't all be good at things.
And it's a sitting room. Good for sitting. Yeah, not many people wake up from blackouts with new furniture.
Yeah, so we have a copy of the Genius of Nikola Tesla, a pack of Llama cigarettes.
Yeah, not many people wake up from blackouts with new furniture. This is my old hoverboard I got from my Martian memorandum case.
And over here we have...
Aye, Rusty. We hardly knew ye.
Yeah, Rusty's Fun Masks, some assorted mementos, and little things we can click on to play videos from the old Tex Murphy games. But also, we have all the videos from this game, should we want to come back and watch any of the full motion video sequences at our leisure without having to go back and replay certain bits.
Hoping to find more information about why sleazy PI Carlos Maldonado has been keeping an eye on my place leads me to a swanky beach house where I'm delighted and surprised to meet an incredibly beautiful woman inside a home medical office. Unfortunately for me, the feeling is not mutual, and she's accompanied by a very lethal friend.
Yes, unfortunately we'll skip through this bit.
What are you doing here?
Well, we had such a charming conversation on the vid phone, I knew I had to meet you. Now I'm rethinking that.
You don't remember me, do you?
Well, I wish I did. Does that count?
We met just once, years ago. So did you really come here looking for me? Or are you here for Mason?
I'm sorry. The correct answer is C, all of the above. I came here to find you, but it's Mason I'm looking for.
Well, you'll have to make do with me. Mason isn't here.
So how do you know Mason?
In the biblical sense, I'm his wife, Ariel Bowers.
When was the last time you saw him?
Over a month ago.
No kidding. A wife like you, I'm surprised he ever leaves the house.
We've been legally separated for over a month. He has issues, erratic behavior, periods of deep depression. It got to be too much.
Psychological problems, huh? What are we talking here? He ties a shoe for an hour, or he walks into Burger Barn
Oh, I
with
can
dynamite?
right-click to get out of that. Well, alright, so we have all of... That doesn't look like something we encountered.
There's a past due notice here.
You're late, you bum!
Note to self, check and make sure I made my speeder payment.
Huh. We overlooked that one somehow. Or, otherwise we come across that one on the other pathways. Because I know this one we definitely don't see unless we play through one of the other pathways of the game. So I'll avoid looking at the rest of these, rather, lest we become spoilerific. But we got some other videos here.
My most painful childhood memory? It involves this rocking horse.
Oh, my ex-wife Sylvia. Thanks to her, I know what it's like to have a high heel tear out your heart.
The following video is a slightly remastered version of the Under a Killing Moon ending. If you have not played the game and plan to play it later, it contains spoilers, so skip this video now. Otherwise, enjoy.
I've got a system warning on level 18, section J. I'm attempting to override that. Now I'm showing a temporary system failure. Climate control is down on levels 4 through 18.
Winter sequence engaged.
I don't understand it. The whole system's going haywire.
5 minutes to self-destruct.
Ah, this brings back the memories.
The whole system is shutting down and I can't do a damn thing about it.
Though it doesn't look quite so good in full screen. All pixely.
Download the backup system.
Now, this redone version of the classic Access logo. That looks fantastic. Could stand to zoom out a bit, though. And not sure about the putter, but we also have a jukebox. Lets us play Texas Lament from the Pandora Directive. Slightly jazzier rendition of the Texas Office theme from Under a Killing Moon. Here's Save the World, Get the Girl. That's Texas Office music from Overseer. Martian Memorandum theme. Wait a minute. Slightly different orchestration there. That music. Ending theme of Overseer. very jazzy rendition of the Chelsea theme. Here's the Pandora Directive text office music. Well, let me switch that back to... Alright, so I'm going to do my raver chair dance here. You can't see it, but I'm totally doing it. So, yeah, that is the final reward for the good ending of the Tesla Effect. I hope you've enjoyed watching me play it as much as I've enjoyed playing it. And next time, we will try and go for one of the other not-so-epic endings. We'll see you then.